talk now. This MMA, what we talking about? Yeah, you tuned into the pod now. Gonna be hard for you to stop now. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in.
Welcome back to another episode of Caged In. I'm your host, Chris DiCarlo. Today we got a very special guest making his return to the show. It is Aaron Short Fuse Hughes. How we doing today, brother?
Doing good, bro. Thank you for having me on the show.
Of course, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And, you got a big fight coming up, Cage Titan 63 on January 27th, only a few short weeks away. So, I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your training camp to, come on here and chop it up with me for a bit.
Absolutely, man.
Of course, let's get into it, man. We mentioned it, Cage Titan 63 going down January 27th. Before we touch on that one, it has been a little bit since we talked, so let's do a little bit of catching up, and then we'll get right into Cage Titan 63. Let's talk about the last one, man. Cage Titan 62 was a big one. Unfortunately, lost to Jerry Muse via rear naked choke in round one, but the lead up to that fight was electric. You and him were kind of lighting social media on fire, leading up to that fight. Was that the most fun you've kind of had leading up to a fight as far as like promotion and song effects? It seemed like honestly like you were just having a good time.
Yeah. I got all respect for Jerry. He's a great dude, good fighter. I still think like the dancing and shit is cringe, but I definitely partaked in it a little bit on fight night when I was in the cage dancing and stuff. Yeah, I've never really engaged with like social media like that before, but it was definitely fun. But that was pretty much just to like sell the fight. Like I don't dislike Jerry Muse at all. Like he's a cool dude. I actually hit him up the other day looking to get some training in, and yeah, like unfortunately the fight didn't go my way, but I mean it was going my way until it wasn't going my way, So I'm just glad that I was able to go out there and show like everything that I've been working on, how much I've improved, especially in the striking department. He's 6-0 for a reason, man. He's fucking tough. I really thought it was over when I locked in the guillotine. It was super tight. I really expected him to tap. Even though my entire game plan going into the fight was like, dude, whatever you do, do not pull guillotine. He's like, keep it on the feet. You're much better striking on the feet. Piece him up there, and then in the second round, then start looking for the guillotine if it's there, And I kind of I kind of just like lost focus for a second. I sensed the kill. I went for it. Definitely gassed myself out a little bit. So it sucks that it went like that, but I'm happy to show how much I've improved and that I am one of the best fighters in New England. In 5 previous pro fights before that, I don't even think he had got hit once. So I went out there. I was piecing him up pretty good. Lumped them up pretty good. But at the at the end of the day, man, it's like it's all about learning experiences. And had I won that fight, I probably wouldn't have learned anything and like I would have just kept going for guillotines. And I fucking learned a lot. One, you're not gonna be able to knock everybody out. Not everybody's gonna fold. And two, like some people just aren't gonna tap. And when you face adversity, you just gotta push through that shit and just keep going. So
For sure, man. 100%. I think you said that pretty well, man. Going into the fight, like through the hype and the build up, pulling up on fight day, walking into the arena, me being there myself, I noticed that a lot of the energy and a lot of the hype that people were there for, they were there to see, you guys specifically. Could you feel that energy in the building that night?
I could definitely feel it. Surprisingly, like I'm usually super nervous. I really wasn't that nervous. Like I was there to do a job. I like usually I'm like fuck dude, I don't want to fight. I'm not ready. Like I don't want to fight. I couldn't wait to just get out there and just get my hands like on him and just like feel the energy of the crowd. Like I sold over 100 tickets, so like walking out and shit and just like hearing everyone screaming and everyone booing him was like pretty crazy, honestly, which I don't appreciate the fact that they were booing him. One, he's a fucking military veteran, and two, I'm sure the dude's probably been through some like crazy shit in war and stuff, but it's martial arts at the end of the day, man. And I got respect for everyone who steps into the cage. It's not easy. Takes a lot of balls. And whether I like you or not, I will always respect anyone that steps in there. So
For sure, man. 100% agree with you there. Like I said, unfortunately, the fight doesn't go your way. Looking back on it now that you've had time to reflect and like let this one marinate, where do you think what do you think you did correctly, and then where do you think you made your mistakes?
um I definitely think so. I was pretty much following the game plan perfectly to a T, honestly. Now that the fight's over, my game plan was to just back him up to the fence. I knew he wouldn't be able to take me down. I'm really hard to take down, especially against the fence. So the game plan was to just stand and trade, keep him at the end of the shots, um, defend the takedowns. Eventually, he would get desperate, leave his neck, which he did start getting a little bit desperate to take me down. Like he wanted to take me down so bad, but um, I think where I messed up was when I grabbed the front headlock in the guillotine position. I should have just snapped him down and called him back up to the feet instead of jumping for the neck. Because once he didn't tap, one, I gassed my arms out because I was squeezing as hard as I could, and two, I realized how strong he was on top, and that's kind of like I knew he was gonna be strong, but I didn't think he was gonna be like jujitsu strong like that. And he was definitely very strong in the grappling positions, and it definitely like caused me to panic a little bit. So I was following the game plan really well until I just had a small lapse of judgment, and I feel like that's what cost me the entire fight. Um, I feel like I could have just stood there for 3 rounds and just kept standing and trading, but I saw an opportunity. I went for it, and um, no reward with no risk, and I took the risk, and unfortunately, it didn't pay off. But it is
For
what
sure.
it is.
Yeah, man, for sure, 100%. Let's talk about your training camp for this one. We are getting into Cage Titan 63 in a few short weeks. Let's talk about your training camp. I know you are over at Regiment Training Center. So, how has training camp been for this one? Are you cross training anywhere for this camp specifically, or are you just staying right at home at Regiment?
Yeah, I definitely always get some cross training in. I've been going up to Lausanne's on Fridays and Saturdays for sparring, and I've been going to get some work in at Greg Rebel's gym, sparring with some of those guys, Sahib Jackson and John Duma, and
Nice.
um, training over there. Usually, I'll try to get up to the New England Cartel, but I've been having some car problems, and then my all the holidays and shit. So it's been kind of tough to get up there. I've been working a lot more. So right now, really, Regiment Training Center, Lowe's on MMA. I'm trying to get up to BTT and Taunton as much as possible, and training with Greg Rebel a little bit.
For sure, man. There you go. You mentioned it, man. This training camp was through the holidays. So how has that been for you? And how has it been, trying not to indulge too much, like being around the holidays and how all that temptation that comes with it? How have
Yeah,
you been able to manage that through camp?
yeah. I mean, I'm just very disciplined, like just to like put it point blank. Like, I train every day, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Thanksgiving. Like, I don't care. I have a key to the gym. I'm always in there. Christmas morning, I got 10 rounds in on the bag. So, before all the Christmas festivities started and stuff. So, I'm just always like super disciplined and super motivated. And, there's a reason that I went up a weight class to 155. So I wasn't killing myself around Christmas and Thanksgiving. Like those are my two favorite holidays. So
For sure.
why, like, fighting's not supposed to suck, right? Fighting is supposed to be fun, and cutting all this weight and shit just makes everything suck. So I feel way better at 155. I can actually enjoy the holidays a little bit, and enjoy time with friends and family. But I still, no drinking in fight camp, like a little bit of sweet treats every now and then. But for the most part, I'm just super disciplined and super motivated, and I just want to win. So when you want to win that bad, doing the hard stuff ain't that hard. So
There you go, man. Well said. Let's get into Cage Titans 63, man. Let's talk about this one that's coming up January 27th at Plymouth Memorial Hall. You will be taking on Jake Hixenbaugh, who is 2-2. You guys met in the past. An unfortunate no contest there due to elbows to the back of the head. After that fight, there was a lot said between you and Jake's team. What made Cage Titans 63 the right time to run this one back?
I mean, personally, bro, like I thought the right time to run it back was right after the fight, and he fought someone else, in a different promotion. So I went and fought in July, called him out on the mic after July, and there was no response. Never heard anything. Sent him messages on Instagram, read my message, never answered, and then it's just convenient how after I lose to Jerry Muse, they're just like, oh yeah, we'll take that fight. Like, oh, you didn't want to take that fight after I just smashed somebody in 22 seconds, but now you want the fight because I'm coming off a loss. So, I wanted the fight back last year, man. Like, it was unfortunate the way that the fight went, and I honestly just genuinely don't like this guy. Honestly, I don't like him. I don't like his team. I respect him, but this fight is just all business for me, man.
For sure. You mentioned it that immediately after that fight, and ever since then, you've been lobbying for this rematch to be, an immediate rematch. And then every time that you got the mic, you've been asking to run this one back because I feel like genuinely you want to run it back to make it right, considering, how the fight ended. Why have you heard through the grapevine or anything like why now is the time that they decided to accept it and not back then? Do you think it is just because you're coming off a loss?
I mean, that's kind of what I think. I know he went and like I'm just gonna say this, like he was 2-1 with one no contest, and then he's going to fight Mancher Kara, who's like when I told my coach about that matchup, he's like, whoever's accepting these fights for this kid is fucking stupid. Like that kid's 5-0. He's a Marcelo Garcia black belt, one of the best grapplers in the world. Like that's the guy who's about to get into the UFC. Like you should not be taking those kind of fights when you're 2-1. Like that's a fight that you take when you're like 4-0, 5-0, right? And personally, I think he probably knew that he was gonna lose that fight, but it's worth it to go in there and take a challenge like that on a big stage. Because at the end of the day, it is a fight. Anything can happen. So had he gone out there and won the fight, I don't think we would even be fighting right now. But yeah, I definitely think it's because I'm coming off a loss. He's coming off a loss. So, but yeah, I guess the time is now. So.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. It's going down now at Cage Titans 63. You've done a whole training camp for Jake, for Cage Titans 59. You're wrapping one up now for him again at Cage Titans 63. Has the preparations for this one changed at all? Or is it kind of just copy and paste since the last one? Have you seen any change in his style that's caused you to kind of go in there and do things differently for this camp?
The preparation has definitely changed a little bit. I spent a lot more time with my coaches watching film, and he makes a lot of mistakes, man. And I don't want to give away too much, but he hasn't really evolved too much over all of his fights. And the me that fought him in May on May 27th is a completely different fighter that's going to fight him on January 27th. So I've evolved just so much. Like I get better every single day. And I personally don't think he has evolved too much. I don't want to give away too much of what I see, but I'm going to go out there and expose his weaknesses, and everyone will see what I'm talking about come fight night.
For sure, man. And, do you feel a little bit more comfortable or a little bit more ready getting into the cage versus Jake, considering you've spent a little bit of cage time in there with him already? And where do you see your strengths in this fight now going into it at Cage Titan 63?
Yeah, I mean, every fight, the anxiety is always going to be there, whether you fight somebody 100 times or whether it's your first time fighting them. So I'm definitely a little bit more comfortable, but I know come fight night, like he still has a lot of tools that I need to watch out for. He's still a very dangerous fighter. But I think in every position, I'm just better, man. Like, if he wants it to be a boxing match, I'm better there. If he wants to be a kickboxing match, I'm better there. If he's going to try to wrestle, good luck taking me down, in jiu-jitsu. I definitely think I'm fucking better at jiu-jitsu too. So I think like I'm just an overall better mixed martial artist, and I think I'll be able to expose him in all facets.
For sure, man. Best of luck to you on January 27th. For the people out there that are watching, sell them on Hughes versus Hixenbaugh 2. What can we expect from the two of you once the cage doors lock on January 27th?
Yeah, it's just as slippery Peter Barrett said, it's going to be highly calculated violence, and I plan on going out there and dragging him into deep waters for all 15 minutes. I'm not going to be looking for an early finish. If it's there, I'm going to take it, but I want to go 15. I want to smash him, and I want to show how much I've improved and how much better I am than him, and everything that I've been practicing in the gym. And I plan on going a full 15, and I plan on leaving bloody. I hope he plans on leaving bloody, and it's gonna be a fucking war.
Hell yeah, man. Very excited for the rematch to go down January 27th, Cage Titan 63 at Plymouth Memorial Hall. Let's recap the year, man. Let's recap the year. 2023 is in the books, man. We're in 2024 looking forward. But when we recap year 2023, you go 2-1, the one no contest, of course, nominated for a bunch of Cage Titans end of the year awards. How would you summarize your 2023?
2023, man, it was a good year, man. Best year of my career. Second year of my third year of my pro career. I went pro in 2021. Went up a weight class, started a 3-fight winning streak. Lots of viral moments, viral speech, which no disrespect to Jay Perrin, his speech was like heartfelt and shit. But come on, bro, throw bombs, bang moms. How did that not win? Come on, you know. But yeah, it was a great year, man. And I set a lot of goals for myself at the beginning of the year. I wanted to go 3-0. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to go 3-0 because I came up short. Had I beaten Jake in May, I don't think I would have fought again for the rest of the year, honestly. Or sorry, because I wanted to go 3-0, so I fought January, I fought May, and then I fought July. So had I beaten Jake in May after July, I probably wouldn't have fought again for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a great year. Got a lot of publicity on social media, got a lot of new followers. Started training a bunch of new clients career-wise. So it was a great year, man. But 2024, man, I'm fucking sending this to the moon.
Yes, sir, man. 2023 was definitely a good, building block for you in your career, like you just mentioned. Now looking forward to 2024 and this new year, what kind of goals have you set for yourself for this new year?
I got some massive goals, man. I'm looking to go 5-0 this year.
There you go.
I'm 5 times this year, whether it's 5 times for Cage Titans or 4 times for Cage Titans and 1 time for another promotion. I'm looking to go 5-0. I'm looking to get signed to the UFC or the PFL this year. If I could get a shot on the Contender Series, that would be fucking massive. I did apply for the Ultimate Fighter because they're going to be having tryouts soon.
They're going featherweight, right? Would you do 45 again?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can definitely make 45. It's not easy, but I can definitely make it, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a very slim chance that I'll get selected because there's people who have much better records than I do who are going to be applying for the show. But that would honestly be a fucking life-changing opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But if that doesn't happen, man, I'm going 5-0 this year. I'm getting viral finishes. I'm gonna start sweeping people this year, and I plan on getting a big opportunity and a big show, and I don't plan on disappointing.
There you go, man. I love when people, set goals for themselves at the beginning of the year. That's why whenever I do these interviews in like January, February, I always like to ask you guys, what your goals are, because it's honestly like interesting to me and inspiring for other people to go out there and set goals for themselves, especially when you have this whole clean slate that is 2024 in the new year. I think it's really good to, set goals and have, aspirations for yourself.
Well, I fought last January, and that was a throw bombs, bang moms, guillotine finish. So I may have a little something cooking up for after this fight too. So
Oh, hey man,
year.
if there's ever a reason for people to tune in, it's for that right there. We know once you get on a microphone that anything could come out of your mouth, man. So I'll be all ears on that one on Cage Titan 63, brother. Before I get you out of here, I appreciate you taking the time once again to come on and talk to me. Let's end this thing on like a fun note, a little lighthearted stuff. Give me Aaron Short Fuse Hughes top 5 favorite TV shows, man.
All right, so you told me this question was coming, so I thought about it a little bit. So number one's got to be Dexter. It's my all-time favorite show. I watched it the first time I ever had surgery, and I watched 2 episodes and I was hooked. I binge watched the entire show in 12 days, so it's like 8 seasons or something, 7 seasons. I binge watched the entire show in 12 days. Then number 2, I'm gonna say Better Call Saul.
Interesting.
Yeah, I liked it a little bit better than Breaking Bad. It was a little bit funnier and just a little bit easier to follow. And then number 3 is Breaking Bad. Great show, one of the best TV shows of all time. Probably the best finale in TV history. That finale was absolutely insane. I don't know if you've ever watched the show.
Oh,
but
I have. That is firmly in my number 1 spot for sure.
yeah, crazy finale. And then number 4, I'm gonna go with All American. It's a football show that comes on the CW, but it's kind of starting to like go downhill a little bit. Like
those CW shows tend to do that, to be honest.
Yeah, I started watching it because like the storyline, and it was based on a true story. I'm a New York Giants fan, so the character that it's based on played for the New York Giants. So the first couple seasons were great. Now it kind of went downhill, but still such a great show. Can't wait for the next.
I was the same for you, man. I started watching it because that player had also spent time with the Miami Dolphins, who is my squad. So same reason for me. So I've seen all the episodes as well.
Yeah. So can't wait for the next season. And then number 5, again, another show that's really gone downhill, but I'm gonna go with You. The first 2, like the first 2 seasons were great, and I had just watched Dexter. So when I started watching that show, I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, another show just like this. But the last couple seasons have just been kind of whack, but it's still, I was like on the fence between Stranger Things and You, but the last season of Stranger Things, I need to rewatch it because I was only half paying attention. So that could very well change when I rewatch that show again. But yeah, so that's going to be my top 5.
There you go, man. Top Aaron Short Fuse Hughes, top 5 favorite TV shows, man. I appreciate always coming on and talking to you, man. It's always a good time. And then obviously I like to end with, with some fun stuff. I feel like this was a good one. Anything that you want to say before I let you go? Any sponsors you want to shout out? Any people that you want to thank? Where can they come find you on social media? Give me the whole 9 yards, man.
Yeah, man. Just shout out to my team, Regiment Training Center. Shout out Lowe's on MMA, all my sponsors, Ultimate Potential CBD, Be Kind, Please Revive Massage Therapy. Shout out to Cage Titans for putting on the best show in New England, having me on the show, and to you for having me on the podcast.
Of course, brother.
Yeah, just tune in January 27th, Cage Titans 63. Hit me up to get your tickets, and I'm going viral with this performance, so don't blink.
Yes, sir. I mean, I know your personal training side of the business as well. You're taking on new clients and training people. Where can the people come find you if they want to get some work in with Short Fuse?
You can find me on Instagram. It's Aaron Hughes 145. That's AARON HUGHES 145. Find me on Facebook. It's just Aaron Hughes, or my business page is Short Fuse Fitness. So you can follow me on there too.
There you go, man. All right, Aaron, I appreciate the time once again, brother. Thanks for coming on. I'll see you inside Plymouth Memorial Hall on January 27th.
Yes, sir, my man. Thank you for having me, brother.
Thank you.
Got down for the count and he can't even talk now. This MMA, what we talking about? Yeah, you tuned into the pod now. Gonna be hard for you to stop now. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in.